The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.
Now, a narrower focus on tourism. Georgia's leading investment bank, Galt and Taggart, reviewed September 2022 for the tourism industry in Georgia and beyond. Here are some very interesting findings that I would like to share with you. Tourism recovered quickly in 2022, almost identically everywhere. Georgia slightly lags global tourism recovery as Russia-Ukraine war softened tourist arrivals, mostly from the EU countries. Tourism recovery accelerated since May 2022. After initial negative impact from Russia-Ukraine war. Tourist arrivals recovery stood at almost 57% in the first half of 2022 and around 79% in July-August of 2022 vs pre-pandemic level. Tourism revenues are recovering faster than arrivals, around 78% in the first half and around 124% in July-August of 2022 vs pre-pandemic level, explained by influx of migrants, high inflation and arrival mix, more tourists than same-day arrivals. Hotel revenues recovered swiftly in the regions, aided by domestic tourism also, while Tbilisi market still lags behind, reflecting partial recovery in tourist arrivals.
It's not a secret that tourism is one of the important sectors of the economy in Georgia. And we are happy to see that the figures in tourism is picking up, and there is a quite positive trend. But still, we should be very conscious because there are many challenges, kind of regional tensions and geopolitical tensions that are in the region. I guess this is one of the major threats. But still, the dynamics is positive, and we are very positive regarding the figures. One of the major findings that we saw in the presentation is that the regional tourism in Georgia is picking up quite strongly, and not only the major cities, the tourism are back not only in the major cities but mostly in the regions, and I guess this tendency will be even stronger going forward. So we are positive on that side.
Employment partially recovered in the hospitality sector in contrast to full recovery in other sectors. Salaries are growing, reflecting general trends in other sectors as well as labor shortage. This will likely remain a long-lasting problem for the sector as a halt in tourism due to pandemic makes the sector less attractive for job seekers.
There is a gap between information and investors' decision, where and how to invest and which is the preferable project for investors. I think that this kind of gathering is the good chance for investors to have this information, to reduce this gap, and in order to have very adequate decisions when industry flourishing, when there is a good signs of recovery and when there is a good signs of increasing visitors to Georgia.
In previous years, we saw oversupply risks in the branded hotel segment, mostly in Tbilisi, due to an extensive pipeline. However, pandemic reduced interest toward the sector after years of investment boom. The medium and large-sized 30-plus rooms hotel room stock growth softened over 2020-2022, and reduction in hotel construction permits hit on weaker investor interest. Galt and Taggart expect gradual revival of investments, mostly in regional hotel development, amid faster than expected recovery in tourism, and Georgia remaining a popular tourism destination despite regional geopolitical tensions.
Compared to 2019, recovery is almost more than 90% in terms of number of tourists traveled to Georgia. And at the same time, what is also very important, that spending by tourists has increased compared to 2019, and the increase is pretty dramatic. Like, if I remember correctly, it's more than like 25% for the entire year, and for the last months, it's even higher. And we hope that the geopolitical challenges which are hindering development of not only tourist sector but other sectors as well will somehow be mitigated in near future. And in case the situation is solved, then we think that trend of tourism growth will continue, and the pace of the growth might even increase in the coming year.
Here is some more information about the specific plans of the co-investment fund in the near future.
In terms of real estate projects, is two hotels. It's luxury collection by Marriott on the Freedom Square, which we will open in the first half of the next year. And at the same time, we will also open 130-room 4-star hotel in Sirnaki, Kakheti region, which is wine region, well-known wine region in Georgia. And at the same time, we are also actively working on Tabori project, which is sits on top of Tbilisi. And the main feature of this project is a 9-hole golf course, which will open together with the hotel, and the hotel will be connected with our luxury collection hotel at the Freedom Square with a cable car.
Galt and Taggart forecast tourism revenues to fully recover in 2022 than the pre-pandemic level, and expect 10% year-on-year growth in 2023. Geopolitical tensions remain a key risk for a sector outlook. Georgia's tourism industry needs to focus on high-potential niche tourism destinations such as winter wine, medical and wellness, and MICE tourism. Galt and Taggart believe in order to attract more high-spending visitors.
Galt and Taggart conduct the conference where we presented a short summary of our latest research about tourism sector, and we discussed key challenges and opportunities of the sector for the future. We discussed recovery dynamics of the tourism sector in Georgia and in Europe to compare dynamics of the recovery. We also talked about new hotel supply dynamics. So we spoke about the performance of the hotel industry and the future perspectives based on future projects, pipeline of the projects, construction permits for hotels, and so on.
The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.